Following up with this 2-video series, this is our can a type 2 or type 4 be an extrovert? Take some time to watch the previous video that came out. Can a type 1 or type 3 be an extrovert? If you're new to my work, I'm Carol Tuttle. I'm the author of 8 books. I'm the creator of Energy Profiling and Dressing Your Truth. You can learn more about it and learn about your type at dressingyourtruth.com/free offer. I invite you to start studying the content. Now, in this world, I'm not going to go over what I did in the first video. Make sure you go back and watch the previous video because I explained to you the background info you need to know about what does introvert and extrovert mean in the world of energy profiling as an energy movement. That's sort of the basis of what we're talking about today. So if you've not watched that yet, hit the pause button here and go back and watch that video so you understand the mechanics of energy profiling when it comes to how we express ourselves as an outward moving energy or an inward moving energy, because extrovert means moving out, introvert means moving in, internal. Now, a type 2 is a soft, subtle movement. It's more relaxed, subdued, has a calming effect. It is a gentler quality to its expression. Type 2 people are known to have a more subdued nature. They're often called shy as children. And they take a moment to process. They have an emotional connection to the world. And so they take a little longer to process their thoughts and feelings before they express themselves or respond. And it's that little pause that too often people are overriding them, filling in the little pause with more talking, not waiting for their feedback, pushing them. And I was listening to my type 2 husband have a conversation with my type 2 brother. After each of their sharing on this phone call, because it was on speaker so I could hear them, there were these pauses after each expressed themselves, and then the other one would respond, and then a pause, and then respond. And I thought, wow, when I talk to my type 3 son-in-law, there's no pauses. It's almost who can beat the other in saying, okay, see you later, and hanging up first. You're saying goodbye as you're like pushing the hang up button. You know, you're canceling the phone call. It's funny because there's no pauses. In fact, we're kind of jumping in on each other's sentences. So that pause is that introvert, inward, subdued energy. In a type 4's world, it's a little intellectual connection to the world. So they have a thinking process that they go through, and they have to kind of line up their thoughts, their big picture perspective as they then move forward. So it's first an internal connection with the thinking mind as they then move forward in life. So those are both introvert movement qualities that they process in their movement through life and their behavior and thinking and feeling processes. Now, can they be an extrovert? Now, let's talk about that as a social quality, someone that can put themselves out socially. Very much so. You look at my grandchildren. I have a type 2 secondary 4 grandson. He's very social. He's very engaging. He's very chatty with people, but very much a type 2 in his process in life. But he has an ability to engage himself with people. He's noticed that people are quite drawn to him. He has an emotional connection with people, so they easily connect with him. Princess Diana, we just did the royal family video, and she was very much seen as a social person, connected with people emotionally, and yet would be able to chat and talk and engage. And yet she wasn't someone that considered herself an outgoing person. So I wouldn't say type 2s are outgoing, but they have the capacity to extrovert themselves and to be in front of people, to be entertainers, to be leaders in speaking and doing things that require an extrovert quality. So certainly they can. It's usually through a choice of a role they're playing or an experience that they're involved in, that they've prepared for it. And it's something that they can, as they're prepared, they will be able to execute that quality of being an extrovert in that experience very easily. Now, at type 4, yes, again, it's an intellectual choice that they want to play that role, they want to have that experience, but they wouldn't be the person that's necessarily striking up a conversation with you on an airplane or in the line at the store. That wearing masks in the previous, as we've gone through a phase in the world where we've been in the mask experience, they've probably been the most adaptable to that than any other type. It's like no one has to talk to me as far as any kind of social interaction. So in that case, that's been. I'm not saying that they went with it and said this is great, but they would have had more ability to be able to move through that with more ease than, let's say, a higher movement type. So yes, type 2s and 4s can be extroverts, but it's usually something that they've felt through, they want to do it, or they've thought it out and it feels correct and they choose to express themselves that way. So it's not necessarily their most enjoyable experience to do it spontaneously, unannounced, sort of unexpectedly, to be put on the spot, I would say. That's not their nature. I talk about in my book, It's Just My Nature. I tell the story of my son, who's a type 4, on his one of his birthdays when he was in high school. He walked into the lunchroom and his friend group broke out in a happy birthday song, and he turned around and walked away because it was just not comfortable. The spotlight was on him. It was not his thing. He didn't want it. Just was a little unnerving. And then my type 2 son, when he was in 8th grade, received the Student of the Month award. And, I'm the type 3 parent. Oh, this is so great. How exciting. Oh, you get to walk up and receive your acknowledgement and recognition at the school assembly. He said, worst thing that ever happened to him in middle school was that. He did not want to be put in that position. So interesting. Some of, we can be an introvert or extrovert depending on the scenario, but looking in the energy profiling model, we move through life definitely with one preference to moving in an outward fashion first or going internal first in how we process and move through life. So hope this has helped. Let me know how it's helped you. Are you a type 2 or type 4? What did I share today that you totally relate to? Expand on it, share in a comment, add to the commentary and what your personal experience with this has been. Really appreciate your being a student of this work and love to know how it's been beneficial for you. Share that as well. Thanks for sharing the video, subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.